It is time again to get out and ride something new. Whoa, is this the way? Oh, okay, maybe not. It's new to me. I'm out here on the Paradise Royale trail. I have heard about this trail for years and years, and finally getting out onto it. Woo! It's about 5 hours from nowhere, so it's always been a little challenge to get the gumption up to take the trip out on a creepy dirt road in the fog. Felt like a little bit of a horror movie getting in here. This is up on the California coast, not far from Shelter Cove, if you've ever heard of it, or you could look it up on the map. Uh-oh. The dirt looks fantastic, like it's getting this perfect sprinkling of mist. The land of the giant redwoods. Hoping it'll get maybe a little more sunny. It's 49 degrees, right on the limit of where I want to put a jacket on. The rule is if it's below 48 degrees, I'll wear a jacket. But there's going to be plenty of climbing on this ride, so I think I'll stay warm. 12 miles and 2,500 feet of climbing. That just sounds like the ideal ride to me. There are so few rides that are more than 15 miles where everything is good. Any 20-mile ride, you're almost guaranteed 5 miles of nothingness at some point. Woo! Didn't wear my glasses because it's so dark, but might regret that. Always good to have the eye protection. Whoa! My best friend Josh lost his eye to ocular cancer, eventually lost his life to ocular cancer. But when you lose one eye, he was like, man, now you gotta protect it with everything you got. You got two, but when you got one, it's a lot more dangerous. Everywhere you go, you're wearing safety goggles. Yeah. Ooh, can we get a cancer? Yep, I'm warming up now. Oh, that's tight. Woohoo! Take it to the limit. One more time. Cool. Good stuff. Fork in the road. Stay right. Watch out for Bigfoot. Woo! I guess you would consider this the Pacific Northwest. We're right on the border, the southern Pacific Northwest. Whoa. It looks like it. It tastes like it. Whew. Yeah. Woo. Foxglove, wow. Digitalis in the wild. Whoa, yeah. Woo. Oh. Okay. This is good. You know, I've been on the hunt. I'm always on the hunt for new rides for the Trail 1 list. I want to build the Michelin guide to mountain biking, that same kind of idea where you go out, you ride this trail, we recommend it, and we know it's going to be very, very fun if you're at the skill level to enjoy it. The first trail on there was Hangover, and there's not many people that have the skill level to enjoy that trail. But if you do, if you're an expert, it's amazing. Oh yeah. Woo-hoo. Goodness gracious, that's great. Imagine finding your way from New York to Los Angeles by recognizing certain smells. Salmon accomplish a comparable feat when they return from the ocean to the same inland waters where they were born. The thing about a ride on the Trail 1 list, there can't be any buts. I've ridden a lot of good stuff already this year, but there's a lot of buts. This was good, but this was good, but that. No buts about it on a Trail 1 list ride. One of the biggest buts is if it only works with a guide or a shuttle that's really not consistent enough and running all the time. The idea would be that almost anybody could show up within reason that day and do the ride. Of course, certain shuttles fill up, and if you're gonna actually need a shuttle, you gotta book it ahead of time. But that idea that you could be road tripping through somewhere and show up and get a ride in without having to pull all kinds of logistics. Great example is the Peru trip. Definitely some of the best riding I've ever done. Amazing, top to bottom, but it's very much the package, the guided trip, the hotels, the driving, all that stuff is so much more possible through a guided trip. I would never want to try to piece that together by myself. Making a best of list is so subjective. And a little microcosm of that is the Trail Forks ratings and Trail Forks comments, where you'll see people saying, this is the greatest trail ever. Then you ride it and you're like, eh. Or some people saying, this is the worst trail ever. And then you ride it and you're like, what? This is amazing. Different strokes. Since it's kind of a colder day, I actually diluted down my Element 1 packet for 2 bottles.
Are you thinking to yourself right now, what is he talking about? What is Element? Well, let me tell you all about it. Element is the best thing going in hydration and the fine sponsor of today's video. Element is an electrolyte drink mix that comes in little packets like this. If it's a pretty hot day, I'll put the whole packet inside a whole water bottle, usually about 16 ounces. If it's a little cooler, I'll do half a packet. Element is 0 sugar, stevia sweetened, fantastic tasting, and extra salty to make sure you beat the headaches, the cramps, and the general tiredness that we have all felt when you have a lack of electrolytes. The Element thesis is very simple. Out with sugar, in with salt. They believe that most people, especially active people that get out and sweat a lot, need more salt in their diet to feel their best and perform their best. I have been mountain biking for 15 years at this point. I've tried so many electrolyte drinks, and this is the first one that tastes amazing, doesn't make me feel all jittery, doesn't mess up my stomach, doesn't have a half a pound of sugar, and actually keeps me charged up all throughout the ride. I do not leave home without my Element. I use it on every single mountain bike ride, and I've been using it on long drives. I used to get these wicked headaches because I would just sit in the driver's seat, not take breaks, not drink enough water, and just plow ahead to my destination, and then end up feeling terrible. The Element mission is health through hydration. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Head on over to their website, drinkelement.com/BKXC, and if you make any order on the website, they're gonna throw in a free sample pack that has 8 individual packets of all the different flavors, so you can actually figure out which one you like the best. I'm very partial to the raspberry salt. I really like the watermelon salt. I love the orange salt. I love them all at this point. I can't make my mind up. The sample pack deal is only available through my link, so head on over to drinklmnt.com/BKXC.
This trail's built to be ridden clockwise, basically one way. I suppose people ride it the other way, but probably not as fun. Oh yeah, fully warmed up, no jacket needed. That's the one thing I don't like about having dark clothing. Can't really tell if ticks dropped on you. Gotta wear all white. I was hoping to do some camping tonight, but all the campsites are filled up. It's a very reasonable $8 a night on BLM land. This whole trail's on BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, our public lands. It's cool, some of these trees filter the fog really well and cause the water to drop down and feed their roots. So it's much more moist in certain sections. It's funny how the idea of climbing 25 feet 100 times sounds horrible, and then 250 feet 10 times sounds kind of crappy too. But then 1,000 feet twice, that's not bad. Whoa, yeah. For 1,250 feet twice, no problem. Only 650 feet climbed? No, that's impossible. Bad Apple Watch, bad Apple Watch. Oh, it's gonna be a long day. Just when you think you have some kind of intuition about miles ridden and feet climbed, the sensors are there to tell you you're crazy. And of course, I'm wearing my Apple Vision Pro goggles right now to make sure I make the correct turns on the trail. But I only have a 2-hour battery life, so I gotta hurry up. I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, there's also something I think you're really gonna like. The new Farlow Gap grips. Say that 5 times fast. As you can see, probably saw it in the last video too, I got the brown color, the new brown color, rocking on my bike. The big feedback we got from the Hell's Gate grips was that they were a little thick. I really prefer thicker grips, but we took that feedback and we're hoping that people will like this one too. We've done so well with the Hell's Gate grips. It's just such a awesome banner product. As you know, we set aside $1 for every Trail One component that we sell, give it back to the trail system that it's named for. We've given $5,000 to the trails in Kijabe next to Hell's Gate National Park. Amazing how far the dollars go out there. They got like a full-time trail crew of 2 people building trails with our help, not just with our money, but with our help. And of course, the Farlow Gap grips are named after the Farlow Gap Trail in Pisgah, North Carolina. One of the absolute craziest trails ever, and I love it. It's just crazy rocky downhill where you need to hold on for dear life. So I like naming the grips after places where you have to hold on for dear life. So every time we sell a Farlow Gap grip, we'll toss back $1 to Pisgah area Sorba, and we usually give it out in $1,000 increments. It's really cool to see Trail One starting to get rolling little by little, just starting to snowball and just really build some fantastic momentum. And I see the sales coming through, and it's awesome. Once you actually ride with it, once you actually feel it, you're like, oh yeah, this is really good. Tell your friends and we're off to the races. Okay, that last bit of climbing was a lot more easy, a lot nicer. Feels like the top. Woo, feels cold again. From gray to green. A little more sunlight. You got a chance, little guy. You got a chance. The hillside where nothing grows. No. Oh, no. Why would I do this? It's not that slippery, okay? It's your funeral. So far, this is everything mountain biking should be. Fun, in the zone stuff, tough climbing, and amazing scenery. Ooh. And dangerous branches. Oh, almost took me for a ride. Ooh. Ah, lovely. A sense of remoteness is always a bonus, not a requisite. I've been on plenty of trails that are right outside the city, right inside the city, stair steps through the city that are awesome mountain bike trails. But something about the old Wild West cowboy fantasy, being out there in the middle of nowhere. Whoa. Man, a lot of work went into this. Whoa. This looks crazy. Something ain't right. I see a stair step chopped in right there. Oh yeah, not bad. 1252 feet climbed, halfway there, in about 6 miles. So yeah, halfway point. There probably is a nice overlook or something up ahead. Okay, I had a snack. The mosquitoes had a full meal. Donated a quart of blood. I just had some peanut butter that was inside my pack and it kind of tasted weird. I didn't look at it before I ate it. So hopefully I don't get food poisoning. Okay, I think we're getting close to the gravitational portion. Hey, a little trail work spot. Oh man, there might be a view over there somewhere. Ugh. Nope. I think the dream mountain lion sighting for me would be like it's sleeping in a tree right here with its tail dangling, and you just have to sneak by and hope it doesn't hear you. Well, I guess the real dream is to see it chase down a deer. That would be really good. It's too cold to sleep in a tree up here. Gravity. Oh yeah. Oh. That was great. A little wet. Yeah. Grooving. Wow. These foxglove are awesome. Woo! It looked muddy at the base. Okay, looks like this is the optional. What? Darkness. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, that was pushing me down, but there was grip. Hello. Whoa, yeah. Nice. Whoa. That's what happens when I always try to not brake in the braking bumps if it doesn't seem like it's necessary. And then it becomes necessary. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh. Indecision. I should have just gone for this. Oh. What is this? Okay. Thought she was gonna get me. Whoa, rockfall. That's crazy. Nasty. Looks pretty recent too. The tree is still green. Yeah, I still prefer the silent hubs over the loud hubs, but there is something to be said for alerting hikers ahead or wildlife, because surprising a bear is a lot worse than scaring a bear and it running off. Whoa! Scaring it with your bike sounds or bell, a lot better. That come around the turn, super surprise. Black bears will almost always run away, but any animal, when it's startled enough and thinks it's got to fight, will fight. It's a grizzly bear that you don't want to run into around a blind turn, because they don't have fight or flight. They have bite or swipe. Whoa. Little earthen dam. Put the game camera out here, see what comes along. This is the Pacific Rim intersection, and I think this trail goes out 7 miles and then back. So it's just like kind of a point to point, one way, or just out and back. Not adding on another 14 miles today. Not much cell phone service or any kind of other service out here. I think there was a toilet at the campground, but I got gas before I made the trek and made sure I knew where I was going. Brought water as well. Can't always rely on the old campgrounds for water, especially BLM free, or no, not free, but most BLM campgrounds, in my experience, do not have water. Whoa. No. Like, yeah, I could shoot. Super slippery wood. The danger is on the wrong side. It's interesting, the last few miles have just felt like it was just an old dirt road that they turned into single track, where as the first few miles felt like real deal purpose-built single track. It's got a different flavor on this side. Whoa! Almost stuck my wheel in the hole. Have a purpose-built neck brace. Slippy wood. Hello. I wonder if it ever gets warm enough out here to jump in the water. I bet the water's always too cold. This trail is in amazing shape. Fog ripened single track, leaf pine needles, that's what they are, falling on to the loam, making it loamier every day. Woo! Oh. Get that smile back. Yeah, mile number 1. I think the first mile marker I actually noticed was mile 4. Oh yeah. Whoa, sweet. The van, I definitely was thinking that I was in for another 400 or 500 feet of climbing, looking at the old Apple Watch, but whew, that's good. That made everything all right. Okay, so there is one more thing out here. There's actually 3 more things out here. There's 3 different jump lines, and when I was riding up towards the campground, I saw one of them. It was a massive wall ride, which there's no way in the wet like this it would be feasible. And then I saw some jumps that looked pretty big. So I'm gonna go up there and see if I can find the easiest of the three and give it a little shred. Yeah, check it out. They've got big old thing. Oh, okay, so I actually see small, medium, large, XL. Okay, so I think I did see the small sign over there. I'll have to find it. The terrain park. Small. Oh, shoot. Hey, hey. Oh. Hey, as wet as it is, it's grippy. Watch your head. Woo! Man, that didn't even look like a jump. Cool. Boop. Yeah, pretty good. No trees down. That whole loop. There was that weird creek crossing tree down, but that was not a bad spot for it. Yeah. That was a little too small. I feel if I move up to medium, I'm gonna get hurt. Gotta try it. Back up. Oh. Yeah. Yep. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. Got some ramen in the van. Woo. Oh, a little soupy. Oh. Woo. Oh, which way do I go? This is a little weird. Exit medium. This way, that way. Pump track, I'm confused. Oh yeah.
It actually worked out pretty good that the campsite was full because I was able to get back on the road and knock out a few hours of driving and then settle into the beautiful Bear River Resort and Casino. When it comes to sleeping in the van, a casino parking lot works out really well most of the time. They don't mind if you park there overnight. They usually have pretty good bathrooms, and they almost always have a pretty good restaurant inside. I saw this big old billboard with a burger on it while I was driving, so I was sold. The burger turned out to be just as good as advertised. The next morning I woke up and I got some gas at the casino, and this place was called Pump and Play, so I was totally convinced that I was gonna be able to play some slot machines while I was pumping my gas. But alas, it didn't work out that way. It was just a really, really nice gas pump. I had a lot of fun on this Paradise Royale loop, but miles 9 through 13 were such a big nothing that almost none of it is in the video. So it's like, man, so much good stuff all along the way. Big old giant climbs, like hours and hours of climbing. But the downhill sections were so good for that first 9 miles, and then it just kind of peters out, and it's kind of a little ride through the hills. And man, the ending of any ride sets the tone so much. If a ride just kind of peters out, that's what you remember from it. And then I go back and I edit the video and I'm like, what, this is amazing, this is great, this is amazing all the way through, and then kind of get to the part where I didn't record as much and the part where I was just kind of Nothing can be perfect. Not everything gets on the trail one list, but I really still like this ride, and I would do it once for sure. As always, I've got a few more rides coming up. I think you're gonna enjoy them very much, but until then, go ride something new. and maybe I'll see you on the trail.